Reading from Sri Chaitanya Shikshamrita by Srila Bhaktivinod Thakur. Though men in various countries on various continents have a wide variety of natures, the principal nature is only one. Only the secondary characteristics are many. But though the principal nature is one, there will not be found any two people in the world who have identical secondary qualities. As even twins born of the same womb have differences in form and quality, one cannot expect that people born in different countries can ever have exactly the same qualities. Different countries have different water, air, mountains, forests, eatables, and clothing. Because of this, the people of these places have naturally developed different physiques, complexions, customs, clothing, and food. Similarly, the people's mentality will differ. And thus, various people's ideas of God, though being basically similar, will differ in details. When men in various countries surpass the uncivilized stage and progress to the civilized stage, the scientific stage, the moral stage, and the devotional stage, they will develop differences in language, dress, food, and mentality. This gives rise to differences in the mode of worship of God. Considering the matter objectively, there is no harm in secondary differences. If there is agreement concerning the essential nature of God and his worship, there should be no obstacle in attaining the same result. Thus, Mahaprabhu has instructed that we should instruct everyone to worship the pure form of the Lord, but at the same time, we should not criticize others' modes of worship. Because of the above reasons, we see the following differences amongst the religions of different countries. 1. Difference of teachers or prophets. 2. Difference in worshippers' mentality and consequent expression of reverence. 3. Difference in procedures of worship. 4. Difference in conceptions of God. 5. Difference in God's name and statements due to difference in language. Thus, people in India give respect to the rishis. In other countries, they respect prophets like Muhammad. In other countries, they respect Christ. And in other places, the inhabitants give respect to the various native sages. It is imperative that the people of the country give proper respect to the native saints. But no one, though he may hold his particular belief to benefit his own progress, should go to other places and preach that what his teachers have taught is superior to all other teachings. This gives no benefit at all to the world. Concerning different expressions of reverence, in India the worshipper sits on an asana, and after performing nyasa and pranayama, he begins his worship. The Muslim faces towards Mecca and worships 5 times a day by bowing down. The Christian kneels down with folded hands, and with humility praises the Lord in either church or house. Each country has its particular rules concerning proper dress, food, purity, and impurity. If one examines the different religions, one will see different rituals. One will also see different conceptions concerning the object of worship. Some people, overcome with devotion in their hearts, establish the form of the Lord in their soul, in their mind, and finally in the external world. Understanding that the form is non-different from the Lord within, they worship that form. In some religions, because of greater emphasis on logic, the worshipper simply forms a conception of God in the mind and worships it. They do not accept an external form of God. In reality, however, all these conceptions are forms of the Lord. According to language differences, different religions call God by different names. The religions have different names, and the languages used during worship are also different. Because of these 5 differences, it is only natural that various religions will appear quite different. However, it is improper and detrimental to argue over these differences. If one goes to someone else's place of worship, one should think, the people are worshipping my Lord, but in a different way. Because of my different training, I cannot quite comprehend this system of worship. However, through this experience, I can deepen my appreciation for my own system of worship. The Lord is only one, not two. Offer my respect to the form I see here, and pray to the Lord in this new form, that he increase my love for the Lord in his accustomed form. Those who do not follow this procedure, but instead criticize other systems of worship and show hatred, violence, and envy are worthless and foolish. The more they indulge in useless quarreling, the more they betray the very goal of their religion. However, one should consider the following point. Though it is worthless to criticize a difference in religious system, if one sees a fault, one should not tolerate it. It is beneficial for the living entities if one attempts to correct the fault in a proper way. Thus, Mahaprabhu, in discussing with Buddhists, Jains, and impersonalists, led them to the proper path. The devotees of Sri Chaitanya should always take the Lord's behavior as the proper example to follow. The devotee does not accept those religions which are filled with atheism, skepticism, materialism, pantheism, and impersonalism as real religions. He knows them to be false religions, anti-religious movements, perverted religions, and he understands that their followers are unfortunate. The devotees must try to protect the living entities from these false religions. Pure love is the eternal function of the soul. Though the above mentioned 5 differences may exist in a religion, the real religion is pure love. This is the final goal of religion. We should not quarrel over external differences. If the goal of a religion is pure love, then all else is adjusted. Atheism, skepticism, polytheism, materialism, pantheism, and impersonalism are, by their very nature, contrary to love.